Hey guys, what's going on? BMcG here, and we're here today to talk about Lizard. One of the weirdest characters of 2025, and just in terms of like the kit, but they're honestly really powerful in very weird ways. Like I really enjoy this champion. We're gonna get right into the gameplay, but before we get too far into this, I just want to say all gameplay I'm showing is using the Spider-Man 2099 relic. It is the best relic for Lizard in my opinion. There's no wrong choice for relics that you can use because pretty much all of them have ways to like boost Lizard properly. But this one is the best because if you dex while you have the immunity to the next precision buff from dexterity, that will trigger the Primal Rage ability that Lizard has that allows him to go unstoppable and unblockable. That also gives him increased attack rating. It's just such an amazing synergy with the relic, and that was Enchantress down in I think just around 60 seconds, maybe it is a little bit over. It was 55 seconds, so yeah, really not too bad there. Honestly, the unstoppable triggering like, I don't know, half the fight makes this guy so safe to use for a lot of scenarios, because if you get hit, you can immediately retaliate just by, doing your own attack. You're unstoppable and unblockable. Like, see right there, we could just go in, attack Kindred here. And I wanted to show this fight off. It's not like a great takedown of Lizard because you guys are going to see right here, we enter Outbreak. So I have to get away from Kindred here and, kind of just like stay away from Kindred and try to get out of this Outbreak. So once the Outbreak ends, now we can go in, close this fight out, and it's still going to be a sub 60 second fight against Kindred, and we had to wait out the Outbreak period. Like, I don't know, I think that's pretty impressive. Like that was a really solid takedown on Kindred, and a skilled player better than me could do that and take that down even faster. So next up we've got Nico Minoru, and he's honestly like the best counter on paper to Nico. He's immune to poison. He goes unstoppable and unblockable when he's immune to a buff, and she places a passive buff immunity on you, so you're going to be unstoppable and unblockable for a lot of the fight. You want to bait special 2 here because it's the easiest one to dex, and if she does throw her special 1, it's fine because you'll likely have your tracking passive, and if you're managing your pauses, striking the opponent with a heavy attack while they're not stunned, that is what gives you the pause. It's very similar to Onslaught. That will pause that tracking, so you can have that tracking up for the whole fight, and that's amazing utility. But with Lizard, you want to bait the higher special attacks that characters have because that deals more damage. They take more damage for the more power that they use. But now we're against Onslaught here, and this fight I honestly think it's really impressive for Lizard, honestly. Right here, like, we screw up and get hit, and it doesn't really matter because we're still unstoppable. It's paused during the opponent's special attacks. Like, that's just nuts. And we're gonna go in here, we're going to bait another special 1, and I think we do end up baiting a special 2 in this fight, and I honestly like the special 2 better for like baiting. It benefits Lizard, like I said, because you deal more damage, but it's easier to dex. Like, the frames are like a lot less tighter than the special 1. But here we go, drop the special 2 with the unstoppable active for that increased attack rating, and we didn't even like need it. That was like 40 something seconds for a rank 4 equivalent Onslaught in Battlegrounds. Like, that's just nuts. And now we have Arnim Zola here, and now we're getting to like the territory where I wouldn't do this in Battlegrounds unless like it was like a round 3, didn't really have a lot of options, but like Lizard works, and since you're unstoppable more often with the Spider-Man 2099 relic, you can get your heavy counters in more often than not. Like, I could dex and trigger the immunity to precision. That will trigger my Primal Rage. I can go in, drop a heavy attack. So like right here, I think I can drop a heavy attack if I really wanted, but we do it with the striker. And since Zola has that built-in protection on special attacks, The whole name of the game here is just bait special attacks, and it's pretty easy against Zola because he has the Energize, which makes it easier to push him higher and higher in power. So it works, and it's not something I would do in Battlegrounds, but this is definitely something I could see sending in War, especially if the nodes called for it. Like if there was a, I don't know, certain node set that made, you know, Zola have like some sort of miss, Lizard would be a great counter because he counters the miss with tracking, and you're gonna be punishing Zola, and you know, getting that extended pause, you know, and keeping that tracking up for the whole fight. This is another eye-opening fight that I recorded. This is a rank 4 Maestro, and for those who don't know, Maestro has one of the highest health pools in the game. I think he's like top 5 or something like that, and we are just gonna absolutely nuke this dude down. Like, I was honestly blown away at how fast this fight was. It's kind of jaw-dropping. Like, this is a fight that shouldn't work on paper, but it does. We got that 100 like damage counter charge. Now we drop the special 2 and he's gone. Like there's nothing he could have done there to stop that. And I'm just at a loss for words. Like that, I think, was the fastest fight that we have in this whole video, and it was against a top 5 health pool in the game at rank 4. Like, I don't know, man. This dude has damage. A lot of people were kind of saying that he's underwhelming in mid, and I think that he's really not that underwhelming if you like know what you're doing. You have the Spider-Man 2099 relic on, and here we can't dex the special 2, so launch the special 1, get the rejuvenate, and then just, you know, get hit by the special 2. Recovery plus rejuvenate plus the regens, like, you're gonna be healing back significant amounts of that damage, and we'll show more of his regen a bit later. And that's one of my favorite things about Lizard, just in general, is the regen, because you can kind of like turn your brain off and play this guy. Like, you don't have to be like always min-maxing everything. Like, this guy is a perfect questing champion, because like if you get hit, not a big deal, you'll regenerate a lot of the damage. I wouldn't do that Photon fight in Battlegrounds either, but I'm surprised it worked. But this is one that really surprised me. I almost swore there. This is Yelena Belova, rank 4. We have class disadvantage, and one of the coolest things about Lizard is that he can do this fight. I know a lot of people are like comparing him to Scorpion because they do semi-similar things, but Lizard, I think, is just more flexible in the way you can play him. I don't mean that in terms of like matchups they can take, but I'm just saying, like, Lizard doesn't have a super like rigid rotation, whereas Scorpion kind of does. You want to do medium, 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 and then special 2 to refresh everything. Whereas Lizard is like, you just punch the opponent, let them throw their special attacks, and you get benefits for doing so. And the retribution passives are allowing us to like chew through the attack rating reduction that we have. That was a 52-second against a rank 4 Yelena. She never entered her elimination mode. Like, come on, man. Like, that was impressive. Like, I'm really enjoying Lizard, and he is so weirdly powerful, it makes no sense to me. Alright, so now we're at the point in the video where we get into story content, and I'm going to stop commentating over fights like normal. Instead, I'm going to just keep talking about Lizard and, you know, things that I think are cool about Lizard, things that I think are like kind of meta relevant, and then like things I just appreciate about the design, right? So Lizard, he kind of feels like a mixture between Scorpion and Onslaught, where you take certain aspects from both of these characters and, you know, apply it to like this one character. So like Scorpion has the sting bursts, so the amount of ruptures on the opponent, or the amount of poisons, or the amount of shocks, you know, that will determine what damage you do, but every single time they throw a special attack, they'll take damage based on the amount of ruptures they have. And Lizard has that too. So as you see here, we have 9 ruptures on America Chavez. When she drops her special 2, she takes that burst damage. But we store that as like a burst counter, so when we drop this special 2 here, you'll see, boom, deal that massive burst. I know I said I didn't want to talk about, like, or didn't want to commentate, but like that's very similar to how Lizard functions, where you bait specials and then you drop special 2, it deals a lot of extra damage. But there's also this like Onslaught kind of mechanic, where if you attack the opponent with your heavy attack, you land it when they're not stunned, you'll get this pause, and that pauses your tracking. That also pauses your ruptures, which is huge for like maximizing damage output. You don't need to do it, but I found that it like really elevates the like output that you can get from Lizard. But like I said, you don't need to do it at all if you don't want to focus on it. But like there's that one aspect from, you know, Onslaught's kit. And then Lizard also has like the inverse of Daunted. Daunted is the opponent takes more damage during your special attacks, and Lizard has Retribution, which increases the damage that they take during their special attacks, which is just the, you know, science replacement. So I really feel like this was like a good hybrid of two existing kits, while also allowing it to feel like it's its own thing. So for that reason, like the design, I love the flow of this kit. I have a lot of fun playing Lizard. I didn't exactly enjoy Lizard without the Spider-Man 2099 relic, so that's one thing that I'll kind of like knock Lizard for, but the relic exists, you can throw it on Lizard, and to be honest, there's not a lot of characters that absolutely need that relic, so you could throw it on Lizard and it's a perfect home for him. And you could throw as low as the 4-star on them, so if you want to use your 5-star or 6-star on someone else, by all means, you're allowed to do it. You'll get the, you know, the same benefits you see here just from the 4-star. And then there's another thing I want to talk about with Lizard is like, you don't have to do like super sweaty things all the time, and you don't have to do this very specific set rotation. And it's one of my favorite things about Overseer 2 is that good things happen just engaging with the fight. So if you know, bait special attacks, because, you know, that's something that you do throughout every single fight, unless you're using like someone who has amazing power control. But like baiting a special attack, they're going to take that burst damage. That allows you to ramp up your burst damage for your special 2 or special 3. Punishing the opponent's special attack when they have the retribution. That's something you normally want to do anyways, just like punish special attacks. But the retribution window, you know, during their special attacks, it increases the damage of the actual hit that you deal. So you'll see sometimes where my hits look significantly, you know, they hit significantly harder. Like one medium was a 13,000, and then when you punish the opponent's special attack, it was like 26k. So it just like rewards you for like actively engaging with the fight, and those are always my favorite kind of characters. I don't like characters who just like don't engage with certain aspects of fights, if that makes sense. And I don't know, good things happen when you actually play the fight with Lizard, and I appreciate that. Another thing I want to talk about before we get too far into this clip here against Spiral, this is the Hubris node, which increases damage taken, I think during their special attacks, or during their special attack window. Someone said that this would be a great fight to like test, and I agree with them. It is a really good one because Lizard, you know, has the retributions, it increases the damage during their special attacks, and then you can see there the damage is applied after the special attack. So yeah, it's just a really solid time. I screwed up here by pushing her against the wall, but it is what it is. But I did want to say that Lizard in certain metas, like certain node placements or certain metas and battlegrounds, is actually going to be a really decent defender. Currently we have combat deja vu prowess, so if you repeat the same basic combo twice, you'll place a prowess buff on the defender. And for those who have been paying attention, Lizard goes unstoppable and unblockable when immune to a buff. So when you bait a special attack from Lizard during this meta, when he has the prowess buffs, he's going to go immune to the prowess buffs, and that will make him go unstoppable and unblockable. Pair that with the root that you get from this node. If you're too far away from him during the special attacks, he'll root you. Now you got to deal with an unstoppable, unblockable Lizard coming at you while you're rooted. So I know everyone wrote him off as like this absolute, like, you know, cakewalk of a fight. And like when there's no nodes, yeah, I agree with you. He's very simple to fight, but he can hook into some nodes and become a really nasty defender, especially if there's like healing involved, because you can't reduce his healing. He goes immune to heal block, I think, when unstoppable. And yeah, he can be really solid. And here's what I was talking about earlier. I think I said it. One of my favorite things about Lizard is that you can just like kind of turn your brain off and like not like be super sweaty. And this is like the perfect example of it. I realized when I was doing this path that Lizard is not going to be great for Northstar because Northstar gains a massive physical resistance when he launches his special attacks. But I also was playing very poorly. So now you can see the regen is allowing us to stay in this fight, and it's just hilarious. I think we take almost as many hits as this dude does by the end of the fight. I mean, I'm obviously over exaggerating there, but like I have this sped up I think 5 times in certain areas unless I'm getting hit, just so I can show you guys. And I don't know, I find this absolutely hysterical, but I also love it because Lizard will make up for my shitty play. Like if I screw up and I get hit, he's gonna save me. He's gonna gain those regens. There, I dealt 112 successful hits, but I received 85 hits myself. So yeah, and we still walked out alive, which I think is just awesome. So this is gonna be the final fight of the video, and this was just a slightly better showcase of the like the Hubris node, because I didn't play it super well against Spiral, and then Northstar has that massive physical resistance, so you know Icarus is going to be the better character to show it against. So I'm just going to end the video here, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Lizard, and I'm really curious if you guys are finding him fun. I made my tier list. I made him kind of underrated, I think. I'm probably going to move him up. I know a couple of you guys commented saying that I am underrating Lizard, and I think I agree with you guys. I need to move him up. I need to get him higher because this dude is a very powerful champion. He's like a really good generalist. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace out.